Hi folks, my name is Catherine and it is time to speed date some ghosts again. This is my second episode with a game called Speed Dating for Ghosts. If you wish to know what this game is all about, check out this video's description texts. You'll find all the necessary information from there. So, without further ado, speed dating round 2, let's go. Hello again. It's nice to see you. I'll just put your name down and you can go right in. Let's take this room. Last time we took this one, and now it's time for the one in the middle. The room of Lears looks a bit like a conference hall. The kind you might see in an airport hotel. There was a meeting of regional managers here yesterday, followed by some couple's 65th anniversary in the evening. They left a few balloons behind. Worn plush stacking chairs are set on either side of lacquered oak tables. In one corner there are wine glasses and a metal pitcher of water, alongside a stainless steel urn for coffee. But ghosts don't need coffee. One particularly nervous ghost is holding a cup anyway. Some habits never die. The bell rings and a ghost appears. Ah! A ghost! Oh God! Sorry! Of course, you're a ghost. We all are. I'm still not used to this whole being dead thing. I'm not used to it either. Nothing prepares you for this life. Except this isn't life. Post-life? I feel so lost. Oh, poor person. When I used to have anxiety attacks, I'd focus on my breathing, listen to my heart beating. Now I can't breathe. I don't even have blood. What does that mean? Let's try to calm them down and say, take it one step at a time. Steps, yeah, that's a good one. It took me forever to just learn how to walk on solid ground. When I first woke up, after I died, I fell right through my coffin, through my own body. Down, 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 into the bedrock. It was so dark. No. That does sound awful, but what did they do? What did you do? I seized up. That stopped me from falling. It was like my whole body became corporeal, not flesh, just like, you know how if you concentrate, you can pick up objects like that. Except I was the object, and the earth was holding me. It was so quiet there, stuck in solid rock. How did you get out? I pulled myself up, away from the heat below. Sort of clawed my way to the surface, through the earth. I felt the rock moving through me. Ah! The bell rings. Oh, that was just a bell. Whew. Thank you for listening. I guess we'll talk more in a bit. Hopefully the other ghosts are as nice as you. Oh, poor creature. So nervous. Another ghost appears. Well, look what we have here. The ghost's voice creaks like an ancient wood. The name's Spooky Peter. He tips his hat. Dust spills off the brim. How do you do? I do okay. I'd wager otherwise. Like maybe you're scared. Like maybe you've seen a ghost. Spooky Peter laughs. Jeez. Or coughs, it's hard to tell. I'm not scared of you. Oh, don't be lying to me. I can tell when someone is lying. I've been doing this a while. My record of hauntings goes back long as the door. Since the Black Death took me in 65. Okay, you're old. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. I thought the plague was earlier. You've seen a lot then. You've seen a lot then. History happened. Wars, revolutions, mostly I read about these things. Mostly I keep to my own. Spooking, scaring. Gotten pretty good at it. Even being in books. Not always by name, mind you. But you can tell when it's me. The top hats. The fear. All hot and sick. Nobody spooks 'em like Spooky Peter. Are you the devil or I try my best? I guess I'll try my best. Do you? Guess I see it. The potential, I mean. I can help with that. Teach me your spooky ways or I don't need your help. Well, why not? Master, teach me your spooky ways. Now. Spooky Peter doesn't just teach anybody. A rock has potential before you throw it through a window. What makes you any better? I turn milk into worms. I make unplugged stereos blast music. I can pull my face off. The middle one, I make unplugged stereos blast music, is pretty nasty. I'm gonna choose that. You saw that in the pictures. These new conveniences, stereos and microwave ovens, they are fun to play with. but they can be explained. Bad wiring and faulty tubes. However, if you already spooked someone, a microwave turning on will get them good. So, how's that for a lesson? Sure, useful? Good. There's more where that came from. If a legendary spooking is what you're after, then Spooky Peter's gonna take you under his wing, so to speak. You'll need a solid foundation. It's all about knowing your audience. A good spooking is in the details. The bell rings. The bell. It means we move on. Guess I'll be seeing you when I come back around. A thick layer of dust now covers the table. Another ghost appears. Okay. This dude looks almost like a shark. Wanna make some money? Excuse me? Well, do you want to make some money? Dollar bills, cashola, you know, the stuff. I understand what money is. Good. Then you'll understand why I want more. Do ghosts even need money? Technically, no. We don't buy things, but money buys something else now. Favors with the breathers. Influence, information. The living always want the money. The living buy plenty. The name's Leon, by the way. I rob banks, don't judge. Okay, Leon who robs banks. I try not to judge. Nice to meet you, Leon. I'm not interested. You rob banks. Let's go with nice to meet you, Leon. Don't be making this personal. We rob a bank together. That's it. No more contact. What are you doing in this speed dating place anyway? At least not for a couple months. How do we do this? What if I want to rob more, but I don't rob banks? I don't think I'm a bank robbing type of person. So I'm gonna go with I don't rob banks. Yeah, I hear ya. Who robs banks? I sure don't. Wink wink. I'm serious or stop down. I guess I'm serious. Then don't rob a bank with me. My team needs to be committed. 100%. Eyes on the prize. You clearly don't have what it takes. You probably get us caught. I wouldn't go that far. Ha! Confidence. I like that. In all seriousness, are you really not interested? I mean, what's more exciting than robbing a bank? As a ghost, who else can offer that kind of fun? Nobody but Leon. Do we want to rob back? All these choices. With this playthrough though. Not interested. Then we're done here. The bell rings. Bye. Well, that was weird. The second round begins. The other ghosts. Holy, were they awful. There's just a creep and Spooky Peter. That name is earned. Oh. Also, I think I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Kyo. Hi, Kyo. Sorry. No need to be sorry. No need, sure. I'm still sorry though. My anxiety gets the best of me, and social situations are tough. This one especially. So Leon is a piece of work, or Spooky Peter has been around? Let's say Spooky Peter has been around. I think he's actually just dust. My rule: never trust anyone who wears a hat. The stuff he said to me. The hairs behind your neck know me. It's best to hide in the corner of their eye. It's what I was afraid of as a kid. He said I have potential, or he said he's been in books. Perhaps let's not compare what he said about each of us. Let's just go with the more neutral option and say he said he's been in books. I believe it. The man's almost theatrical. Reminds me of a character actor playing the devil on stage. I totally see that. I'm not a confident person, but I'm rarely wrong. You should stay away from him. Your speed dates are going well then. You're not like these other ghosts. You're not like these other ghosts. I'm sure thankful for that. At best, dating ghosts is frustrating. Everyone asks the same things. How did you die? What was your life like? If we were alive, the questions would be like, what kind of food do you like? What's your favorite movie? Dying doesn't make people more interesting. It's Videodrome, by the way. My favorite movie, I mean. How did you die? What was your life like? Long live the new flesh. I wonder if the last option has something to do with the movie they just mentioned. I ask about these first two. They are precisely the ones this creature didn't want to be asked about, so I guess I go with the last option. Long live the new flesh.
Ah, you know it. Sometimes I feel like a VCR. Obsolete, out of date, no new stories to tell.
We can find some new stories. Let's flirt a bit.
Maybe. Or we can just rewatch old ones. You missed things the first time. So, do you want to hear how I died?
Well, if you want to talk about it, yes.
Might as well get it out the way. I was in film studies, working my way towards a PhD. In depth, always pretty sad. I had good friends though. I was always studying. One weekend, they convinced me not to study. They said we should go to the lake instead. I couldn't swim, I never learned. You see where this is going? I drowned.
Oh, and that's why you're dripping all over the place. Oh.
Everything went black and quiet. I woke up dead in a fancy wooden box under 6 feet of dirt. That's when I fell deeper, like I told you before. I hate thinking about it. Why do I always dwell on the bad stuff?
Well, you are dead. What's your favorite food? I'm wondering how should I react, like... It's tricky. Perhaps for now, since we don't really know each other that well yet, I'm gonna ask about the food. Kind of to take the conversation to a bit safer waters. That was a bad choice of words. What's your favorite food?
Seriously? You're asking me my favorite food? Coffee's a food, right? It's coffee.
Coffee? Yeah, sure. I'm having a cup right next to me at this very same moment. Why am I not surprised? And we could go for coffee after this. I'll choose the we could go for coffee after this option.
At a coffee shop? No thanks. We can't drink coffee anymore, and I hate being around the living. They somehow make me even sadder.
Oh, we could go to, I don't know, art gallery?
Art galleries depress me. All the art is super sad, and all of it is better than anything I could do. Which just reminds me that I wasted my life. So I'm gonna say no to art. Tell you what, I'll come up with something. Something a little different, hopefully.
That sounds good.
Yay!
Oh, they are smiling.
I can't wait to do something with you that isn't talking about myself. Sorry.
The bell rings.
See you after we're done.
Oh boy. What kind of voice I gave to this guy? Dark and stormy and creaky. Let's see if I know how to do it again. My spooky yeah. That's precisely how you pronounce that word. Returns. What knowledge do you seek, protege? I want to know it all. In time. A truly spooky ghost requires one thing above all else. Patience. So, what spooks Spooky Peter? Have you killed anyone? How do you scare people? I'm interested in what spooks Spooky Peter. Not much, though I will say I ain't so fond of beasts. What kind of beasts? Or you're scared of animals? I'm gonna go with the first option. The domesticates, hounds, felines. You're scared of dogs? Spooky folk like me rely on a certain covetousness. I can't just be all clanging about, announcing myself. That's not so spooky. Dogs. They can smell Spooky Peter. They know I'm there. I'll shrink up into a corner in the dark, and sure enough, they'll find me. Start growling back to the sound the alarm. It's trouble, let me tell ya. A real impediment. Spooky Peter wheezes. Something's rattling around in there. Are you okay, or tell me about the plague? I'm gonna ask you if it's okay. Bay the rattle no mind. I die with it. It stays with me. You ever been to the mirror world? I have, or what's that? What's that? The place beyond this. But the same as this. You've seen it, but always looking in. I have no idea what he's talking about. The bell rings. If you fancy another lesson, come on by that edge of things. I'll show you around the other side. I'd like that. Maybe you think you like it, seeing it's another thing entirely. Something spook even. Spooky Peter. Okay, that sounded ominous. I need to ask you a few questions about Leon. Did Leon mention anything about robbing a bank? Oh, I don't want to lie to you, but I don't also want to, it's his afterlife. He gets to choose what he does with it. And you're looking at me with those judging eyes. I'm gonna be a horrible ghost and say no. Someone else will probably rattle him out. What a wonderful logic I have got going on in there. I know. I'm gonna cover for Leon, I don't know why.
Oh, that's strange. Someone mentioned he said something to you. I'm sorry to bother you.
She knows! She knows I lied, and now she's looking at me like all judging eyes.
I just don't like the idea of ghosts like Leon hijacking my event. This isn't some criminal career fair. Thank you again for participating in this. Ghosts like you make it all worthwhile.
The bell rings. It's time to choose your date. It's safe to say Leon's out of the running. So, again, 3 very different characters. Leon, Spooky Peter, Kyo. I don't know. Such a tough choice. Well, they all had an interesting story, but I can only choose one, so Kyo was really sweet and cute. Leon seemed like they were more interested in the gig than anything else, even having a conversation or anything. Spooky Peter has definitely seen many things. I'm curious though about the mirror world. I need to know more. I need to know more about the world Spooky Peter mentioned. So it's gonna be my choice. You arrive for your date with Spooky Peter. A hall of mirrors at a roadside carnival. A clown's face, all smiles and menace, watches over the entrance. Welcome to my home. Inside are twisted corridors lined with mirrors. With only a slight reflection, it's especially disorienting to navigate these halls. Spooky Peter leads you to a specific mirror, taller than the others. The mirror's face is concave, as if to pull in everything around it. We are going into this mirror. I'm gonna follow him. I'm not gonna hesitate. Together, you step inside the mirror. Welcome to the mirror world, or as it's known here, Rorim et. I have no idea what I just said. I said the same thing, but all the words were turned around. Yeah. That's the mirror world spelled backwards, precisely. Do you see the eerie green? That is what happens when an image reflects itself. It takes on an eerie green the more times a reflection is reflected. The greener it becomes. Just like this. It's turning green. I'm gonna ruin this by saying there's actually a science behind that. I'm gonna be impressed by the greenery. That is pretty green. Thank you. Do not be afraid. Nothing here can hurt you. In the mirror world, the physical laws are upended. Am I really here? Or am I over here? Or am I over here? Perhaps it is all of the above. Or even nowhere at all. That's amazing, or okay? That's amazing. I thought you might be impressed. I have practiced these skills for ages, centuries. It is not easy being green. Now come with me. The spooking hour approaches. That's 3 a.m. in case you were wondering. So, where are we going, or why 3 a.m.? Where are we going? We are headed to a brownstone. A walk up I know quite well. The second floor apartment in a house going on 100 years. A student of the arts named Paul has moved in. He heard the rumors. House is haunted, they said. He ignored them. The cost was worth the fear. Together you and Spooky Peter fly through the void, passing countless mirrors in reverse, each peering into a life still being lived. Each mirror in the living world is actually a door. It's a scary thought. Staring into one long enough in the dark. Or saying a spirit's name 3 times. That's like knocking. After a short trip through oblivion, you arrive at a particularly decorative mirror. A splendid haunt. Spooky Peter leads you through the mirror glass into a long hall lined with bricks on one side. There are still boxes in the hall. The mirror you step through is propped up against the wall. At the far end is a massive kitchen with original marble tile that does well to hide its age. Paul is sleeping. Let's get to spooking. Spooky Peter leads you through the closed bedroom door where a man in his 20s is sound asleep on a mattress. I kind of feel bad for Paul. He is snoring loudly. Spooky Peter floats to one shadowy corner by the open window, then motions for you to do the same. The curtain flaps over Peter's shadowy visage. He stands silently, hat bent, slightly forward. He's just standing there. Should we flicker the lights or should we shake the bed? Oh no, let's go with shaking the bed. I mean, he seems to be pretty, well, sleeping pretty hard right now. Patience, protege. The aim is to be a presence, not a threat. Spooky Peter stands motionless for several minutes. Wait, no, 40 minutes. 40 minutes of doing nothing but standing there. Finally, he moves away from the corner. Watch, protege, as I tighten the knots. Spooky Peter sinks into the hardwood floor. The old wood lets out a loud creak, 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 as steady as a pulse. Paul is still snoring. Peter moves into the ceiling and starts to scratch. Scratch, 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 like raspy breaths. Paul is still snoring. Peter is starting to look annoyed. He floats over to Paul and peeks in his ear. Some sort of orange foam. It obstructs his ear canal, preventing him from hearing us. Again, I am thwarted by the progress of man. This is pointless, so scratch on the wall. Let's scratch the wall. You scratch with one nail, long and deep, above Paul's head. It leaves a long vertical line in the plaster. Make it an arrow pointing down, make it an arrow pointing up. Make it a cross? Make it an arrow pointing up so that, I don't know, something is up there. Perhaps it's spooky. I don't know, I'm not a ghost. A puzzling symbol. This is good. He will most certainly fret over its meaning. The fear this will so brings me butterflies. I am proud of you, protege. Truly, you are spooky this day. Spooky Peter leads you back into the hallway mirror. Back through this weird mirror world of his. A fractal realm on the dull side of the tree. What he said. Eventually, you reach the mirror that leads back to where you came in. Well, this is me. Thank you for your company. This was fun, this was weird, this was fun. I am pleased. Before we return to the physical world, I should warn you. Time behaves differently in the mirror world. What may have felt like hours was in fact years. A decade has passed since we began this date. Wait, we were on a date for a decade? What? I speak in jest. It's barely been the length of a talkie. Come on, dude. The look of fear on your face. Spooky Peter spooked you good. He tips his hat to say goodbye. More dust falls off the brim. Guess I'll be seeing you. A breeze picks up and the rest of him blows away. Sorry about this one.